Hello again, all you extraordinary subscribers. Welcome back to the Hemingway Land YouTube channel. So, as you can see from the state flag up here, we're back in Colorado this week, or more specifically, not New Mexico. It's been a few weeks. It's going to be a few more before we have anything in the Land of Enchantment, and that is because, and I want to take a moment to address it here, that is because we've been having incredibly bad luck lately, actually getting to the finish line on a deal. We had a really good one up in Rio Arriba County that fell out of escrow close to the end because the seller's son decided they wanted to inherit the property after all. We had another one, a bulk acquisition of about 200 lots we're working on where the county, we were buying directly from the county. The county got some offer for what amounted to about a nickel more, so they supposedly want to pursue that instead. Though I will tell you guys, if you understood how long these things take to negotiate, I have no idea why you would blow up a deal in the 11th hour and set everything back to zero and start the whole process over with someone else when there's so many variables that could cause a buyer to back out, but that seems to have happened to that one. And finally, we had 3 really good properties close to Las Cruces, which we should have owned about 2 months ago, but the sellers kept delaying, and then finally announced they wanted more money. And for the record, not like a small amount of more money, not like a reasonable, like, oh, pay our back taxes amount of more money, but rather 3 times what was contractually obligated, what was contractually agreed upon back in February. So, of course, we had to tell them to pound sand on that one. Those 3 lots, by the way, were scheduled to go live this week, which is why we had to call a bit of an audible and move up the one, yes, only one property you'll see debuting this week in Colorado. Whatever the case, this is all my way of saying that if you tune in here regularly for land in New Mexico, I'm sorry, we've been a little light on inventory for a while. The dry spell will regrettably be continuing for another few weeks because of what we will charitably refer to as knuckleheads. With all that said, people, we do have a really good one going live this week in ba-boom, Huerfano County, or Huerfano, if you prefer. Specifically, this lot right here in a new subdivision, one we have never previously before bought, listed, or sold land in, known as Eagle Flat Ranch. And Eagle Flat, like a lot of the subs that you find out here, is one of these regions where everything is chopped up into some very large parcels. This one we're debuting today being no exception, coming in at a very roomy 36 acres. So let's go to the map. This area right here is roughly the Eagle Flat Ranch subdivision, and if we zoom back a little bit, you can see that it sits just outside the county seat of Walsenburg, so of course easy driving distance to groceries and supplies, as well as, and I sense some drone footage coming up here, people, Lathrop State Park. Yes, people, this area is always a big draw for our buyers because of the close proximity of this attraction. Of course, they don't just have the 2 lakes out here with all the boating and the fishing, but they've got trails and picnic areas, RV spots, camping sites, bird watching sites, and of course, plenty of great hunting in this region as well. So the subject property today sits just down here by the entrance to the sub and has road frontage here along its south end with State Highway 69 and its actual legal access here along County Maintained Road 614. So the property is very easily accessible. Additionally, it does have property boundary markers still in place, so it should save you some money on needing a survey, particularly if you're not keeping livestock here and you don't need to build a fence anytime soon. And you'll notice in the photos, guys, the property has power lines along its northern boundary. That said, these are transmission lines and not residential power lines. Fortunately, however, there are underground utilities throughout the subdivision, which should make the property easier to develop. As we go now through some of the photos here, I will also add that this property benefits from an overall lack of restriction, no HOA, no annual dues, no time limits on building, no covenants, no restrictions, all the sorts of things that we look for because we know our buyers look for. Additionally, as noted, it's out here in Huerfano County, where zoning is not necessarily non-existent, but where we do see a lot more flexibility and permissiveness when it comes to how people are allowed to develop their land. As I note in the property video you'll see posted tonight, guys, I don't think they say no so much, as I think it's more like if you're willing to pay for the permit, you can pretty much do whatever you like kind of thing. In fact, within this Eagle Flat subdivision alone, I know there's mobile and modular homes, as well as A-frame structures and shipping containers, and even what looks to be some prolonged RV use. Point being, a lot more freedom in this region to develop the land however you like, both at a subdivision level as well as at a county level. So, a lot to like about this property, especially the thing I haven't even mentioned yet, which are the spectacular views and the scenery that you have out here, most notably the nearby mountains which surround this area. And additionally, guys, we're bringing this one in at a little more than $1,000 an acre, which is one of the lower price points for land that you will find in this region. With all that said, we will be back next week with some new properties in the Grand Canyon State. In the meantime, people, thanks as always for watching, and we will see you in next week's video.